Yo, 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 yo. What's good with it, man? It's the homie MACK. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach one, peace and love. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel 82 Kings. Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Watch this video to the end. Watch this video to the end. This will be my second installment. I took the vaccine. Now what? Again, I took my first shot, which was Pfizer, July 2nd, 2021. I took my second shot, Pfizer, again, July 23rd, 2001. So there was a 21-day increment between when I took my shots. So again, the first time when I took my first shot on July 2nd, my arm was hella sore, but I didn't feel sick or anything like that. My arm was hella sore, and I just felt a little tired. Now on July 23rd, when I took the second shot, my arm was not sore, but I just felt hella tired. I just wanted to lay down. Excuse me, I just wanted to lay down. Wasn't really sore, just tired. I had a slight cough and a slight sneeze. But overall, I was functional. I mean, I don't want to say well, I wasn't necessarily incapacitated. I was just extremely tired. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, I want to talk about some things. I've heard so many rumors, so much propaganda. Sometimes I feel like everything going on, it's like one side is pitted against another. It's very polarizing, and this thing becomes sometimes it feels like it's a psyop. I can't corroborate that for sure. It's just, with the media, I'm seeing somebody, I think it was Malcolm X, somebody said that the media is pretty much a devil in itself. And maybe it could be, just seeing how polarizing it is. I don't know, man. I took the shot. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's body is essentially a chemical set. Everybody's body is basically a chemistry set. There's so many factors that play in with your diet, exercise, that affect your physical health as well as your mental health. We may not all respond to things the same way. All I can say is COVID is very real. A lot of the questions people ask, or the mind games, I don't even want to say mind games, I want to say just the questions people ask, it just shows me a lot of times people don't even have a baseline understanding of science. But I remember reading somewhere only, 28% of Americans have a functional understanding of science. It is what it is. I understand. Question the government. Question the government. What they say in that movie V for Vendetta, a people should not be afraid of their government. A government should be afraid of their people. Cool. Question the government. Question everything. What else I want to get at? My thing is, take the time to educate yourself. Don't blindly follow anything on either side of the spectrum. Again, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not going to tell you what you should do with your body. But I guess at the end of the day, I feel like the end game should be getting rid of this virus, or at least suppressing it where it does not affect greater society on a grand scale. We live in community, and in order to live in community with other people, you sacrifice certain freedoms. The best case example I can give is in my car, it's my prerogative to go at a certain speed. In my car, if I want to ingest things, if I want to get high or get drunk, that is I don't want to say it's my right, but I have the freedom to do so because I have agency over myself. But since I know I live in community with other people, I'm not going to just get drunk and drive. I'm not going to just get high. I'm not going to do different things, because I know I live in community with other people. And what do they say? You have something called the state of nature. The state of nature is essentially, it's a philosophical term. With the state of nature, you have agency and freedom to do as thou wilt. But we step out of the state of nature to live in community with other people. And from what I'm seeing with this virus, okay, you don't want to take a shot? All right. But at least wear a mask. But people don't even want to wear a mask and take the shot. And I'm sitting here thinking, if we're living in a community with other people, we clearly see this as a communicable disease. Let's do things to slow the spread. Y'all don't want to social distance. You don't want to get the shot. You don't want to wear the mask. You always talk about your freedoms. And it's just, like some people, I think the arguments that they make are very inane. Somebody was telling me something about FEMA camps coming in the night to gather people if they don't get vaccinated. Now, I have heard about the federal mandate, and I also heard something about there's like a certain group of people within the government who don't have to get the shot. I don't know if that's even true. Sometimes I feel like there's just people on the higher ups. I don't know. I'm like Steve Coke. Steve Coke. One of the things I learned from Steve Coakley, he said, if you can't put a name and a face to a thing, what are you really doing? So I can't specifically trace this higher up that may be just performing this psyop. I don't know. But let me get to it. What else? Give me 1 second. I have some notes. Not necessarily notes, but just talking points. I guess when it comes to black people, again, I understand the distrust of science, but understand there are black scientists out there that are well intended. And they're trying to help black people. It's like y'all want to scream about Tuskegee, but you don't even know who Charles Drew is. Don't know nothing about Charles Drew, but you know about Tuskegee. And then another argument I hear is, well, your immune system, the conspiracy theory, we're conspiracy theorists because we believe the immune system can do what it's supposed to do. Okay, cool, but my thing is this, that's bullshit, because we all know that there's a thing called autoimmune deficiencies, where the cells in your body, the cells in your body that solidify your immune system and that attack pathogens, it literally can naturally turn on itself and treat healthy cells as if they're pathogens. And in the process, your body can literally destroy itself. And then you have something called a cytokine storm. A cytokine is something that your immune system naturally produces, but it seems like with COVID, it's overly producing a cytokine to the point where you're literally choking off your own immune system and you die. You suffocate they call it a cytokine storm, and you die. So my thing is, we need modern medicine. We need thinkers. We need the thing that's so dope about us as human beings that differentiates us from other species is our level of consciousness and our ability to consciously take a step back, analyze our situation, and to adjust accordingly. Now I know you say dolphins are hella smart and all that, and there are other with ants they communicate. But what I'm saying, uniquely, what makes the human species so unique, we can do things that we can process things and do things, and species beneath us are pretty much subject to it. In most cases, and I know nature can turn against us at any point, anything can happen, but I think essentially what differentiates us from other species are our brains. And I know you say that, there's a lot of morons, there's a lot of dummies out here. Well, I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. Let's see. And one of the things I want to say is, what if the epidemiologists, the scientists, the doctors, the nurses, the whole monolith, the whole science community, what if they did nothing? You don't like the vaccine, you don't like the mask mandates, you don't like this, you don't like that. But what would you guys say if the science community did nothing and just sat back and watched people die? What would you do? It would be, oh, you guys are doctors and medicine men and you're nurses and you're research scientists, and you can't do anything to protect society. that people would bitch about that. And I understand people are saying, well, the vaccine is not FDA approved. It wasn't FDA approved. The FDA, we were in the middle of an emergency. We needed to try something. We tried mRNA vaccines. Do we know the long-term consequences of this? No. But from nurses that I know that work in the ICU, from different doctors I know that work in trauma units, they say that the patients that have came in that were vaccinated, they were more resilient on average than the people who weren't vaccinated against COVID. You know, and again, if you don't want to take the shot, don't take the shot. Okay. You have the freedom to do it. You do as you will with your body. And again, we don't know the long-term consequences, but what we do know is that people are dying. The science community had to do something. You know, and at the end of the day, I guess we're all rolling the dice, but at least wear a mask. We do know that this is a communicable disease that's respiratory. It spreads like the flu. You know, you cough, you sneeze, it goes into your respiratory tract. It solidifies itself. The virus causes the cells in your body to replicate the virus, and eventually you die. We know this much about viruses. Another thing that pisses me off, people want to people want to talk about they want to take Ivectormin. I think Joe Rogan took it. I mean, he lived. He beat COVID because of it. But again, Ivectormin is a horse dewormer. Ivectormin is meant to fight parasites, not viruses. A parasite and a virus are not one and the same. Just from a microbial level, a parasite and a virus are not one and the same. Again, a virus can have the same consequence of a parasite in the sense of it needs a host, but as far as like how it exists on a microbial level, they're not synonymous. Night and day. And the thing is, a lot of the people who have been taking Ivectormin, the horse dewormer, they've been pooping out their intestines. And the thing that's so funny to me is you don't trust medical science, so you don't want to take the vaccine, but you trust science enough to try something that the science community has used on behalf of horses. The chemistry of your body isn't the same. The dosage that an animal can take is not the same as what a human can take. We know about zoological transfer. We know how things can spread. A virus can spread from an animal to a human. But that does not mean that an animal can take the same medicine. Well, it does not mean, rather, that a human can take the same medicine as an animal. I don't understand a lot of people's logic. One of the main things I've learned from this whole pandemic is we need to have we need a revolution of hard science, of natural sciences. I think our economy has been too entertainment centered, and it's been and entertainment is nothing but a fantasy to a great extent. It's something that triggers the dopamine in your brain, you get excited, but at the end of the day, it's not real. We have people in our society that are not centering themselves from a point of reality. And they're out here trying to live in the material world with no concept of reality. And my thing is, there needs to be a greater push for an understanding of science, so we can have a citizenry that is more educated and has a greater understanding of the functionality of science. What else we got? Oh yeah, and lastly, I think if Joe Biden, I was about to say Joe Budden, if Joe Biden wanted people to take the vaccine, he should have charged for it. He should have charged for it and made it non-accessible, or made it very hard for poor people, low-income people to obtain it. Because at the end of the day, one of the main things I keep hearing is, when did the government ever want to give you anything that was free? If it's free, it's something wrong with it. and that's my thing. I think the narrative would shift between the anti-vaxxers, between everybody. They would probably be like, oh my gosh, you guys are doing us a disservice. Millions of people are dying, and you don't want to give it to the poor. You don't want to give it to the working class. So I guess I just feel like, they should have put a price point on it. Because it just seems like our medical infrastructure is such where we can help the general public. And I've heard people make arguments about insulin and different things that are hella expensive that should be free or should be cheaper. But that's the nature of capitalism. You find something to capitalize off of. You find a need, you find an exploited class, and you capitalize off of it. It is what it is. And I'm just saying that to say why people charge for things when you think it should be good natured. You shouldn't charge for things that keep people alive. Our healthcare is faulty. I get it. A lot of things need to be reconstructed and just totally gutted. But I'm a firm believer in dialectics, specifically dialectical materialism. I think society, as we get on, as we progress as a species, I'm hoping that we evolve and not devolve, and someone will come up with, someone or some people will come up with solutions, and will be solution based. We may not live to see it. I think somebody's going to find a crossroads between humanity and capitalism and help them to be able to coexist. I know that's crazy hearing that come from me, a noted Marxist, a student of Marxism as well as Leninism. But yeah, that maybe I'm wishing on a star. But yeah, I understand the skepticism. All I'm saying is do something. We have to find a way to combat this thing. Because if we don't, it's just going to keep mutating. Maybe it's here to stay. Maybe it's going to be like the flu, or whatever. I don't know. I just want people to live. I'm not trying to persuade you to take the shot. All I'm just saying is make an informed decision. But I think there was a man in Alabama. He had COVID, and they literally had no beds for him. He tried to go to like 2 different counties, 3 different counties, another state, and they